Welcome to the Apex eSports League V8 Supercars Bathurst Challenge for Project Cars 2 on the PS4. So tonight we have round 2 of the V8 Supercars Bathurst Challenge. So of course back at the mountain yet again. Tonight we've got 2 sessions running. So we're about to head over for 15 minutes of practice with weather heavy cloud, qualifying of 15 minutes weather heavy cloud, then the sprint race is 10 laps, weather overcast, no mandatory pit. We'll then have a 7-minute break and then head off into a 15-minute qualifier for weather overcast, and then our main race tonight is 17 laps, weather's overcast, light rain to overcast with mandatory pit. So definitely needing some strategies to be set for the wet stint on the mountain, so testing the driver's skills in the wet. Last week we saw Darksider take the lead in the championship, so he's now currently leading the championship with 119 points, followed closely behind by Mr. D-Train Barbado with 109, and Corby also tailing just over in 107 points. We saw Mr. D-Train Barbado take the win and his fastest lap in qualifying as well for the first stint, and then the second we had also Darksider taking the win but qualifying second, so not quite a full clean sweep. So drivers, we can hear at the moment loading up some setups for their cars. So the session is not forced to default setups, so drivers can choose to go for soft compounds. Definitely would be needing some soft compound tyres at the moment, as game time for the session is 9 AM. With overcast conditions, track temps will be quite cool. Here's Mr. D-Train Barbado. He is currently coming second after last week's round. So it is only a 3-round series, just a short series of challenges to test drivers over the mountain in the lead up to the actual Bathurst 1000, which is only a matter of weeks away at this stage. You can see the car a little bit slippery for D-Train as he was just heading up through the mountain. See how slippery it is going down through the dipper. Got that car performing quite well. Not too slippery coming through Forestdale though. We've got Chris Dog 2020 in car number 12. He is debuting with us for Apex eSports League tonight. A little bit of lag, showing his car jumping around. A little bit more pace there. I'm not sure who's in the Cash Now car. We've got Vert Wheeler. We had Vert Wheeler debut in the Ferrari series with us last Thursday just gone. So he's joined us also as a late entry into the V8 Supercars. So Bertie in car number 8, and we got Vert Wheeler in car number 37. We had connection issues for Bertie last week. Not qualifying in the main race, and also disconnecting after qualifying. So qualified in 10th after some disconnection issues occurring during the qualifying session. And then he did get the car back in to try and get a time on the board, but it wasn't a strong lap. And then he did disconnect during the race, so didn't get any points for the first race. So he's trailing in the championship in 11th position with only 6 points. We've got Skiddy 14 in the blue Ford Falcon. He's currently coming 4th in the championship after last week. So a car coming flying around on the chase. And Rennie 9915 didn't get to make last week's race. So he's also a later entry. Over to Darksider, who is our series leader at this stage. Only he's leading by 10 points, so Mr. D-Train and Corby 387 will be the ones strongly contesting for points for drivers. Fritz Skinya, he was coming 5th after last week with 63 points. And Corby coming 3rd in the championship. That's 0 in the cash show car. And Weaven also a later entry into this series. He wasn't able to make it to the race last week. And we also missed him in our Ferrari series last week as well. If you do watch our broadcast, you would see he is a regular driver in Apex eSports League's events. If you're joining us for the stream, be sure to say hello. I can see the chat. Let us know who you think's going to take pole in qualifying, who you think's going to win each race. See if you can also put out who you might even think would win the championship. Will Darksider continue this run of strong wins and secure a nice strong spot for winning the championship after next week's race? Already with a 203 in cold conditions with cold tyres, not a bad time. Mr. D-Train just coming in by almost a second. When you do join us for the stream, also there are controls down below under the Twitch stream window. You can play sound effects and the likes to have a bit of fun with the stream. And be sure to hit that follow button as well. We are trying to grow to our milestone of 50 followers, so it would be much appreciated. Darksider bringing that car straight back in after setting a 201. Mr. D-Train coming very close to the wall, coming up through the cutting. And that put him off a little bit off the line coming out of that next corner. Not sure if he's on hot tyres or if he's come back out for a cold lap. So far, our top 3 is our current 3 leaders in the series championship after last week. Darksider taking the quickest time, Mr. D-Train in 2nd and Corby in 3rd. If these results continue as that, most likely will be fierce competition. Oh, and Corby making some more contact. Doesn't look like it's invalidated his time. Certain spots you can make a little bit of wall contact and it won't scrap your time. Oh, that's a hard hit. There's going to be definite performance impacting damage done to that car now. Can tolerate a couple of scrapes to the walls, but solid hit like that. Oh, that's put him offline. He may be facing a bit of suspension damage as well. He's really pushing this car to its limits. And the thing to look out for as well, once we get into our main race tonight, there is good chance that we may see a bit of difference in the field to what we see for times being set and race leaders. We may have some other drivers that may find themselves a bit more stronger driving in the wet than our current main contenders. It is a bit of a theme that we tend to find, that there's a little bit of a mix-up in the field. Plus, it does bring open opportunities for all sorts of incidents to occur in the wet. Rooney 915's car is showing some scrapes on that right-hand side. Looks like quite a damaged car over in the pits where Bertie's taken a big hit. Also Vert Wheel has taken a fair bit of damage. It is only residual. Got a bit of slip going on. Exiting those pits in these cars is quite slippery when they come out. They are that torquey, they do tend to spin. It is usually a safer option to head out in second gear as you power out of the pits. It does tend to reduce the amount of slip coming out. This first gear in these things are very torquey. Kenya's out on the track now. Ooh, running wide on Forest Elbow. Narrowly avoiding what could have been a very catastrophic accident for him. 4 minutes remain of practice session. A few blips coming down into the chase. Now to see Vertwheel and Fritz Skenya get a time on the board. I don't know if this is his out lap. Must have been, or it was invalidated. Just had reports of Skiddy invalidating time, so it looks like he's possibly had an accident. So far, just under a 2:02 is Darksider's time. Bit of a time difference to the second position with a 2:02.620. It's quite a bit of difference. They were quite tight in times last week, so these overcast conditions definitely showing some slower lap times. We saw fastest laps being set in the sprint race was Mr. D-Train Barbado with a 2:02.680, and we had Darksider in the main race setting a 2:01.611. Very quick race times indeed. Oh, and we've had Weaven move up into third position. He's back into the pits. Looking promising for Weaven. Weaven and our other newcomers entering into this series later. We'll need to try and get some strong qualifying positions and race finishing positions in tonight's series. As they are a fair bit behind after running the first round last week. Very nice line for Corby. little bit of slip coming out of Forest Hill, a little bit wide. And another later entry, so Kakadu has raced with us before. 50 seconds remaining of practice. And we are missing from last week, we are missing Mersey Blue, Gitto 23, Psychogency and Rojo Gresh. A few unable to make it. And Fritz Skinner come through with a fourth time. Well, Corby's just pushed his way back up into third. So made a quick tweak to that car and got it back up. There's not much difference in time. Our first 9 drivers only 5 seconds apart. Practice is complete. Drivers are now on their last laps before they head off into 15 minutes of qualifying. Weather also heavy cloud. Game time will be 10 o'clock. Track temps should start to increase. And Rooney comes through on his last lap, a 2:01.697. We may have someone pushing a bit of competition with our current series leaders. The dark side of D-Train Corby may have some fierce competition here. Corby's just run off into the wall. Maybe AI, I'm not sure if he got across the line in time. Yeah, I think that is AI. 30 coming down off Conrad into the chase. That car's had a hard hit to the front. Once they do bring the cars back into the pits and head back out, the game doesn't refresh the visual damage. It only resets the performance. Chris Dogg's just gone wide and that invalidated his time. Kakadu. Oh, there's an incident there with Kakadu and Vert Wheeler. So this will wrap up the practice session, and we have Rooney come in with the quickest time in practice, so a 2:01.697, only 0.223 of a second behind is Darksider, and then followed by Mr. D-Train with a third quickest time in a 2:02.196. So we'll be heading over into 15 minutes of practice, qualifying. That was practice. Some brain farts with getting out some of my talk tonight. Evening, Gallon. Thanks for joining us. Oh, Vert Wheeler's just copped a penalty. So he just comes from one grid place. Pit limiter was not on through the pits. It is manual pits for the drivers. And that little bit of realism to the actual events. So if they have pit limiter buttons set on the actual steering wheel, they will actually have to remember to push it on before heading out into the pits. They're lucky enough to have not remembered to actually assign a button to their SimRig wheel setups. That is actually automatically limits. You don't have to actually have a button for it. So if you've got a bad memory for things, it is very good to do so. and that car almost diving back across as he hits that curb. There was a fair bit of bounce to it. So you're doing well, Gallon, if you're trying to watch the stream. Oh, and I think that's Corby that's just gone sliding. Could be Skiddy or Corby. They're both in the blues. Oh, a little bit of lag for Corby. You can see that car ducking side to side. It's not too much of a connection issue for him. Sometimes first laps we do see it a little bit, as it does take a while, especially once you get almost a full field. It starts to put a bit of load, and frame rates can tend to drop on certain tracks. Oh, and yes, that's a lag. It's possibly a dropout there by Christoph. Yes, he's just revving, as you can see. Yes, he's just disconnected. That's alright, I was going to say, look out for the coppers if you're trying to watch a stream and drive. It would have been quite interesting. And we saw Weaven originally in practice get up into the top three. And just have Corby come back in and take that back away. Corby's brought the car back into the pits. And over to the series leader so far. Oh yeah, definitely. That's a nice line. Can he continue that through with Forest Elbow? Flat foot coming out. Yes, he does. Yes, if you want to get involved in our racing, you can see down below our Facebook page. If you head to it, there's a link to our Facebook group that has all our events. You can join in, enter in your details for the big group, and then I can approve you for membership. And then head over into the event details, let us know what car you would like to use in your PSN. And then Darkside is slipping out in that last corner. That's going to put him off for a bad start to the next lap. And Weaven comes in with a 202.522. A very quick time for the first laps. While you are joining us for the stream, make sure you let us know who you think is going to take pole position. Yes, so next week, yeah, with daylight savings, it'll be 7:30 Australian Eastern Daylight Time. trouble with the car. It looked like it may have been a little bit of lag going on for his car as he was coming into there as well. A bit of difference in the times and top drivers at the moment, with Skiddy coming in second place at the moment. Skiddy's not too far off in points for the championship. He's currently sitting on 70 points after last week's round, so that puts him in 4th position, and Darksider is only on 119 points. So there's, from memory, I think there's 20 points up for grabs for pole position. And then in the sprint race there's 30 points for taking a win. And then for the main race tonight, a win is worth 60 points, so it's double that of the sprint race. Yeah, you guys are a little bit later than us. Make sure to hit that follow button as well if you're joining us for the stream. We are trying to grow to our milestone of 50 followers. And not far from doing it now. That's got to be you on Thursday, gal, and if you want that coffee mug. Clean sweep. Secure your spot. And you would have saw the V8 Supercars I've set for Ferrari series wrapping up, so you can get into it as well. And over to Bertie. So we saw Bertie currently sitting last in the championship after last week. He didn't get to make it into the second session. He disconnected after entering into the race in the sprint race, and then had network issues and couldn't get back in for the second part of the session. So he's only sitting on 6 points, which is just his qualifying points for the first session. Bert Wheeler currently, he has got a time on the board at 2:11. Bert Wheeler needs to get out. We've got 5 minutes left of qualifying. He does have that one grid place penalty as well. Just remember to hit that pit limiter there, and there's a little bit of traffic. Well, that's going to slightly put Weaven off as he comes through Hell Corner. Now that was a 0. I thought we were looking at that wheel there. All cars back out on the track. They can get a couple more laps in. Our top few drivers, Mr. D-Trains, have to bring that car back in. I'm not getting up-to-date race feeds, so I'm not getting notices if anyone has exceeded track limits or stacked it. So these two guys, we've got Rooney and Mr. D-Train. With 4 minutes remaining, they need to get this lap out quite quickly, so they've got time to get in a hot lap. I need to try and get these tyres quite warm on this lap. As you can see Rooney doing so. Skiddy's brought it into the pits. I don't think that'll allow him to be able to get back out in time for another lap. Yeah, and the Ferrari with Sonoma, it's quite a quick track to drive as well. We should see some fierce competition, I think, on Thursday night for the Ferrari series. The Darksider only just marginally retaining his pole position currently. Oh, I think that's Skiddy. Yeah, it's just exited the pits. Oh yes, he could get in a lap, I think. Weaven's brought it into the pits. He may have time to get out for another lap if he wants to push it quickly. Only just under 3 minutes remaining. He also will want to try and get these brakes up quite hot as well. He'll want to get onto the brakes quite early coming into the chase. And a little bit of trail braking through there as well. As coming up into Hill Corner, we want to make sure those brakes are nice and hot. Darkside has brought the car in, that's it for him. He won't get another shot at doing a lap. So this is an opportunity for other drivers to now come in and steal pole position away. There's Rooney. He's having some issues. Oh, so he's going to block some traffic. He just gets out in time. Don't know if he's going to have time. Oh, there's been 3-car incident. Oh, Corby. Looks like Bertie as well. Yes. And Rooney, that's it for them for qualifying. It's not going to give them another opportunity. There was a little bit of slip with some cold tyres coming through there. Would have seen them spin out right in front of the oncoming traffic. Looks like Skiddy and Vert Wheeler, they will get another lap in. No improvement in times. Oh no. Skiddy's gone off, that's it for him. We've got Mr. D-Train. Skinny should be able to sneak in another one. No worries, Giddo. If you can make it for next week's, we're also doing the shootout qualifier as well. So we'll mix things up for next week. We won't be doing the normal qualifying session. It will be a longer qualifying session than the 15 minutes. These drivers will be queued up in pit lane, ready for just one golden lap. So Fritz Skinner setting some quite good times. I think he may be able to do it again. That's up to him. Zero and Vert Wheeler at the moment. He can shave a second off his time. It's the last laps to Skinner, Zero and Vert Wheeler. Should be able to see. That could have been a strategy crash. Did ruin their last lap to try and secure a stronger position. And Zero at the moment flying in this car. There is a bit of debris over Skyline. A little bit of lag going there. Not getting feeds. It looks like he did go up over that curve a fair bit. A bit wide off in the dipper, but that's recovered quite well. A little bit of slippy. He's pushing his car quick. He wasn't impressed with that. That's put him off his mark. But it looks like he's just crossed. Yes. So he's AI driving here. So that's Fritz Scania. Can he improve his time? Not sure. So we have Darksider 6789, our championship leader at the moment, take pole position. So we're seeing him start from the front. Also at the top of the grid we have Mr. D-Train Barbados starting in second place, Rooney in third and Corby in fourth. So our series leaders is Darksider, Mr. D-Train and Corby. So Rooney being a later entry into round 2, showing some fierce competition for him, so he will be one to watch in the race tonight. And then Vert Wheel, unfortunately, still qualifying in 11th position, so that one grid place penalty sees him remain in that 11th position. So we'll be heading over into the race now. Drivers will have a couple of minutes to get ready. There's no mandatory pit for this race. Game time is 11 o'clock and weather is now changed from heavy cloud to overcast. An extra hour has changed from what the game time was in the qualifying session, with track temps expected to increase slightly. However, overcast conditions will possibly remain the track temps as being probably about the same as what we saw in the practice session, so a little bit slippery. Drivers definitely would be needing the soft slicks for the race. You may see a little bit of a difference in tyre choices for the second race. It'll be later in the afternoon, so it'll be a 2 o'clock race with weather overcast, light rain to overcast. We won't see the track dry up. Time progression is ×2, meaning twice as much rainfall will fall as compared to normal simulated. Yes, so it'll definitely rain at sync to race, so not sure. So it could be early on in the race, could be about halfway. And here we go, ready for the lights to go green, and off we go. There's a little bit of slip. Looks like we can see Skiddy ducking for some positions back there. He's up on the wrinkle strip as he was trying to do that. Darksider has slipped back. Mr. D-Train has just taken him on the outside of Hill Corner. He's blocking the track from Darksider, attempting to get around him. Darksider looking to make an inside move, coming up onto the mountain corner. Rooney tucking in very tight behind. Corby almost losing it. I could have seen him dive into Weaven. That could have been catastrophic and ended the race for them here. Bit of wall contact as they're fighting for every bit of track in that tight bit of the cutting. Up the mountain we go. Looks like a pretty tidy start to the race so far. Oh, hard wall contact by Rooney. He's recovered from it, didn't put him off. Down into the S's. Oh, a little bit of slip with Darksider, that's put him offline. Oh no, that's blocked off Rooney. That's allowed Weaven to get around, and also it looks like Corby has snuck through as well, side by side to Darksider at the moment. And Skiddy tucks in just in time for Forrest to elbow. Rooney and Darksider side by side coming onto Conrod. Rooney having the track position owned at the moment as we come down into the bend. It's going to have to see, yes, definitely Darksider have to back off slightly. Oh, side by side through the chase. Who's going to give up any? No. Rooney has backed off, allowing Darksider to get through. That was some intense racing down the mountain. Oh, and then Rooney's just got off the track. He may have taken damage from that wall hit before. The Vert Wheeler now getting through. We saw, that's a zeros. No, it is, yes, a Vert Wheeler in 5th position. We saw Vert Wheeler qualify in 11th position. He started at the back of the field. He's now up into 5th position. We've got Weaven up into 2nd position. Corby not too far behind. Mr. D-Train Barbado is starting to put a bit of time on them already. On lap 2, 3 seconds ahead on Weaven. These guys are going to be enduring a battle very shortly. So we have Rooney still struggling with his car. He's definitely taken some severe damage to that car. Really pushing that wounded car. Vert Wheeler's going to have to try and be a little bit cautious. As if Rooney's pushing that car, trying to make a pass, it may be a little bit hazardous with getting around, so he may be really fighting with the steering of that car. Head over to Bertie. The Fritz Skinner right hot on the tail. Bertie right behind Kakadu. Yes, so we had a fair few forget about the iRacing test race. So it was just me in the session on Saturday night. Oh, and that's Darksider that's gone off in the chase. Going to be allowing all the other drivers to gain some points on our race leaders. Yes, but unfortunately no one else joined, but I did get to figure out how to host in iRacing. It is a lot different from doing it like on Project Cars 2 on PS4. But we'll definitely be looking at doing iRacing series on Tuesday nights after this wraps up. We'll probably have a few weeks break while sorting it all out. Probably won't broadcast the iRacing straight away. I'll probably jump behind the wheel for it in the first instance. Corby flat out over Skyline. Toning in on Weaven. Oh, war contact though. That's just putting back by half a second. Oh, Vert Wheeler's just had contact. He was showing as being in 4th position and he's just dropped back down to 6th. That's unfortunate for him. He was climbing up so well after starting at the back of the field. That's some significant damage to that car. He's definitely going to be at a speed disadvantage now. Yeah, he's struggling with that car. It's not steering straight at all. That right suspension has taken quite a hard hit. As you can see, that car is taking heaps. He's going to probably have to bring that in. Oh, doesn't want to get in the road with someone else. Oh no, he's going to decide to battle on with this car. Oh, it may end up badly for people here. And we've just had, looks like Bertie spin off. Looked like he was almost spinning off into the pits for a second. I have a Zero following Rooney, and Rooney has that wounded car as well. Let's see, Corby has a fair bit of damage. He did manage to get past Weaven and Rooney as well. Weaven has taken damage, so he's put it into a wall from the looks of that. That front bar flapping around. Rooney also doing a bad line through the cutting. Weaven looking to make a pass as he cuts Oh, that is tight. That's going to put him in the wall. He was slightly offline for that corner. A Zero looking to make a move past Weaven. I don't think he wants to try and pass just yet. Two cars ahead, both suffering damage. They could be unpredictable in a pass. Mr. D-Train now nearly putting 13 seconds on the leader, and it's only lap 4. You could see him potentially putting almost at this rate, nearly 25 seconds lead over the race. Yeah, that'd be good, Giddo. If you're in our group as well, there's the link. Otherwise, if you search for Apex eSports League on iRacing, you should be able to find it. But I do have a link on the Facebook group page under announcements, so you can share the link to ask for membership into the iRacing League. Oh, and here he goes. It's a good spot for him to try and make a move on Weaven into hill corner, locking it up. Oh, Weaven tucking right in behind. That was a very nice pass indeed. Kenya looking to pass Kakadu at this stage as well. Corby has a penalty. He's copped 2 seconds. That's 2 slowdowns abided by Corby. This stage he can possibly wear a bit of a time penalty. He can keep Rooney at least 2 seconds away from him by the end of the race. He should be fine. I don't think he's got a chance of catching up with D-Train Barbado at this stage. If he continues to race at this level and does not have a severe accident. So we saw D-Train Barbado take pole and win the sprint race, then qualify 4th and finish 3rd in the main race. So with his very quick starts and being able to get away quite cleanly at the start of the race, the sprint races seem to be his forte, which we're seeing here. Fritz Skinner and Kakadu less than a second apart at the moment as they fly down Conrod. Definitely caught up on Weaven quite close now. I think he could try and make a move. No, thought he may have gone for a inside move, trying to force Weaven to brake. Weaven got away a little bit quicker. And the Zero is closing in on Rooney. Zero will have a slight advantage going along Mountain Straight and also going down Conrod as well. Ooh, heavy on the brakes, almost into a slide, come out through the cutting. Rooney's getting away from him going up the mountain. I'm not getting sector time data, so it would be nice if we could see. Zero would definitely have the advantage over the aero damage that Rooney has suffered to his car. So he could stay hot on his tail over and down the mountain. Ooh, and we've had, I think Kakadu has spun out. He's recovered that, but there's some significant damage. Looks like Skiddy no, it was Skiddy that has gone past, had the accident. It was Kakadu that just narrowly avoided him. Skiddy being lapped at this stage. Darksider, our championship leader, struggling at the moment, back in 8th position. He has a little bit of ways to try and catch back up. So Zero has caught back up to these guys. He has a very clean car in comparison to the following two, Rooney's and Corby's cars, quite bruised and battered. See Corby trying to break stream. You can see the speed advantage from that front bar having that damage. Flaps about quite a fair bit. And Rooney not as bad as what Corby's car is. Oh, looking to make a pass. Oh, he's definitely putting some pressure onto Rooney. Would not have been a good place to have passed there. Zero did think about it. Oh, hard hit. Zero just needs to try and play patience at the moment. Down into the S's. See if he can force an error, but not at this stage. He doesn't want Rooney to spin out and block the track here, as it will end badly for Zero. Needs to catch up to him here and tuck him behind. Corby needs to do the same here as well, as he's not going to be getting this anywhere near the speed. He's probably going to be 10-15k slower than these guys going down Conrod. Oh, he's going to be offline, but he just squeezes in. That's going to put him in a bad spot. A bit quicker coming into the chase, locking up that back left wheel. He forces Rooney to get on the anchors. Rooney looking to get past him here again. And Corby and Kakadu. Oh! Rooney goes wide looking to make a pass. Kakadu passing Corby. Says that damaged car of Corby's is going to be losing positions at this rate with the amount of damage to that car. Got Bertie and Vert Wheeler. Oh, Vert Wheeler almost going into a spin. Had a message from Cycogen Series, wasn't here for the race, just asking if we had a race tonight. So Dirty's back bar flapping about. These two cars are rather damaged. Plenty of battle scars from the mountain. Very unforgiving track with the amount of walls and high speeds. Currently on lap 9. So, not getting much coverage of poor Mr. D-Train. All the action's been happening behind him. Lots of incidents going on and fierce battles for position. Darkside has also copped a time penalty 2 seconds, so a slowdown as well. It looks like we'll be having Psychogency join in for the next session. Once he's on his last lap, I think we'll definitely have to jump on for an onboard victory lap with Mr. D-Train. Chakadu struggling with that car at the moment, but looking to get past Rooney. Oh, straight. I don't think he's going to be able to catch him. There's several wall hits. A little bit easy as he comes across. That is a flat out corner, but he did back off a little bit after those couple of wall hits. Several taps of the brakes as he enters down into the S's. Rooney making a wall hit. Don't think we're going to see him get past here. Another wall hit as he comes out of Forest Elbow. And here we are, our race leader. So as I predicted, plus some more time, he's now almost 30 seconds leading the race. Blistering all times. I think he may have fastest lap of the race as well. Yes, a 203.998. Next time's a 204. Immaculate condition car as well. I don't think he's scraped the wall. Hopefully we don't jinx him on his last lap. 0 has moved up into second position as well. And saw 0 qualify 8th and finish 6th in the sprint race last week. So our series leader dropping into 8th position for this race, but will open up opportunities for D-Train to get ahead at this stage. Also open up some opportunities for other drivers. Corby sitting back in 5th position. And Weaven is only 1 second behind Rooney. Oh, sorry, Corby currently, and Corby has a 2-second time penalty. Weaven doesn't need to get past him. There's too much of a gap between his next car up ahead. So all he has to do is he stay within that 1 to 2 seconds behind. And he should be fine. And here we are. D-Train Barbado takes the win, flashing the lights. Well done on the race victory. On last laps now. 0, 30 seconds behind. And the next